Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders. Stock could be creaking back to life. Could we see a second wave of Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders? Well, we're going to take a look into it in this video. Click the like, subscribe, click the bell icon to really support. Also, check the links down below to our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week Nintendo Switch 2 stock tracker that will play a loud alarm when pre-orders do open up at all the major US retailers. And also under the video, you'll find links to the YouTube shopping links to the SanDisk and Lexar 256GB, 128GB, and 1TB microSD express cards that you will need for your Nintendo Switch 2. SanDisk.com as well as Adorama are the only two places, or two of the only two places that are actually allowing you to order these things now and get the upper hand before they sell out everywhere, and before you'll have to wait like 6 months to get one. And as always, check the links down below in the video description for great Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, as well as a bunch of other deals. So yeah, in this video, guys, we're just going to talk about the pre-order situation. Obviously, we haven't seen many pre-orders since the 26th. On our stock tracking stream, this is the last drop, I believe. That last real drop was the 26th, around 8:20 a.m. Central Time, and that was at Walmart. The last big drop was obviously Walmart, and it was a while ago, and we're all getting antsy. We're all hanging out on the 24-hour stock tracking stream on my channel. Go check out links in the description. And we're wondering when that next restock is going to come. When are we going to get the next wave of pre-orders? Well, let's talk about it. Games Radar has an article over here basically talking about the fact that stock could be creeping back to life. Obviously, retailers are basically hoarding stock, and shipments are still coming into the US. Bots and scalper orders have been cancelled, so we've been long expecting GameStop to really come back with another restock, right? Shop2 over in the UK has actually done a second round of pre-orders this morning, and Walmart obviously have relisted the console back to their website. If you know, back when, after we had the restocks and after Walmart sold out of their first wave of pre-orders, they actually took the listings on Walmart.com down, and we assumed, okay, we're not going to see this until release day. Well, a week later, the listings magically popped back on. So it says coming soon. So we're wondering if Walmart's gearing up for a second restock. Obviously, GameStop put out a tweet after they sold out saying they're going to try and reopen inventory again after they've cancelled a bunch of their bots, duplicate orders, and all that. So this could be the week that it happens, and like I said, we're going to be tracking it on our 24-hour stream. If you're wanting to stay up to date and come check out what the stock situation is, I really highly recommend you go check it out and come say hi. I'm always hanging around in the chat room. But yeah, we're waiting to see what Best Buy does. We're waiting to see what Target does. As you know, they're one of the official retailers. We've still not seen the Amazon listing yet for the Switch 2, probably because Amazon wasn't selected as one of the official retailers for the Switch 2. But like Game Radar points out here, you'll need to be in the right place at the right time. And like I said, our 24-hour stock tracking stream is the right place. You're just going to be there at the right time. As you know, on our stock tracking stream, I don't mean to keep going on about it, but we do have a stock script that literally checks these websites multiple times every second, and plays an alarm and also lists drop on the actual stock tracker script to let you know when it's live, where it's live on, and we've also got all the links to the retailers in the description, as well as Nightbot, our little robot. You could type a command into the chat and basically get the link. So you put like !Best Buy, !Walmart, and the little bot in the chat should let you know where to go to buy it. So yeah, it's a really valuable resource. Definitely recommend you check it out. Maybe even keep it up in the background and just, you know, turn your volume up and get alerted when the restocks come back. That way it takes all the work out of it for you, right? But yeah, we're hoping we're going to see more stock. Onto other news. Obviously, we saw this posted on the Nintendo Switch subreddit. Amid soaring demand for Nintendo Switch 2, major Japanese retailers are restricting pre-orders to customers who have already spent loads of money with them. So that's crazy. Nintendo's really knuckling down, as are a lot of retailers, and that paints a pretty obvious picture as to how hard it is to get your hands on these, to the fact that retailers are starting to restrict pre-orders to people who've, you know, regularly shop at their stores, as opposed to just letting anyone order it online, right? So that makes sense. I wish we'd got a little bit more of that in the US. I wish that US retailers had maybe, you know, restricted some of the pre-orders to people who maybe have a Walmart Plus subscription, a GameStop Pro membership, little things like that, or at least reserved some drops to people that have subscriptions. Maybe even Amazon. I know Amazon's not one of the official retailers, but I don't mind it too much when retailers obviously do a drop, maybe do their pre-order waves in waves, and maybe allow everyone to a free-for-all for everyone, and then maybe do a second round of pre-orders to people who have maybe a membership. That way it cuts down on a lot of the bots, the bulk orders from bots and scalpers. I think it makes it a little bit more fair. Like for me as an example, I have a Walmart Plus subscription, so if I was able to have a chance, a pretty decent chance at getting one, it would be nice to have that opportunity. Let me know if you disagree. Demris here says, it's kind of a tricky situation. On the one hand, stopping scalpers from snatching pre-orders is good. On the other hand, it's hard to implement any system that doesn't punish people with less money. That is true. GameStop's nonsensical bundles are pretty crappy, for instance. That is true. GameStop, as you know if you've watched my videos, GameStop were actually on pre-order day basically saying to a lot of customers who'd lined up around the block for their chance at getting a pre-order for the Switch 2, basically saying to them, hey, for some reason the standalone Switch 2 isn't available for pre-order, it's not working through our system, so to get your hands on a pre-order you'll have to buy an $800 bundle with accessories, with a warranty, with a micro SD card, and you'll have to basically pre-order that, pay a bigger down payment, and if you do want to switch to pre-order. And a lot of people walked away from it, but a lot of people were forced to do that. But the good news, at least with that, was the fact that come release day, when you went to pick up your pre-order, you could have just cancelled all the extra accessories that you'd paid for, and it just walked away with the Switch. So it was kind of a big deal, but also not a big deal, if you know what I'm saying. Here's an interesting video that I wanted to put out there from CNET, actually, that says it's okay if you didn't pre-order a Switch 2. Let's see what he's got to say.
Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders have already begun, and it's already really hard to get. But let me ease your FOMO a little bit by telling you it's okay to wait, seriously. I mean, it may be hard because there are some exclusive games, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, but the graphics updates on the existing games are not that drastically better from what I got to see. You really need a really nice TV to appreciate it. Plus, there aren't that many exclusive yet. Except for those 2 games, all the other games can be played on the original Switch, and some of those games like Metroid Prime 4 and the new Pokemon game, you can play on the original Switch. And
keep in mind, I just wanted to pause there, keep in mind that Donkey Kong doesn't come out till July, mid-July, okay? June 5th is the release date for the Switch 2. You're going to be getting Mario Kart World. That's going to be a release date title. There's going to be a lot of third-party games. But as far as first-party exclusives on launch, I actually didn't know until like yesterday that Donkey Kong wasn't a release day game. It's coming in July. So for those of you expecting to get the Switch 2 and Donkey Kong on release day, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Donkey Kong, the second big exclusive for the Switch 2, isn't coming out till July. And we've not even got a release date for Metroid yet. So, that's up in the air. So to get this thing on release day, if you don't, in the off chance that you don't, it's not the end of the world. You could wait a month, you could wait 2 months, and as he's about to say,
you could upgrade over when you want to get the Switch 2 in the future. And some of those other things, like the camera stuff, the mouse stuff, they do seem a little bit gimmicky. I'm curious how many games actually support that. That being said, the Switch 2 does look like the best Switch, but I do think that based on Nintendo's history, you could probably wait another year before you really need to get it and start really envying a lot of those really unique games that come out for it.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, if you were to wait a year to get your hands on the Switch 2, you'd be in a better position, honestly. Just because there'll be more games out there, there'll be more, options. We'll get to see what games, take advantage of the new features like the mouse mode and the camera and stuff like that to see if it's really worth their money. And a lot of people don't want to miss out. A lot of people don't want to wait a year. A lot of us are early adopters, right? We want to get the Switch 2 on release day, experience it on release day. But for those of you that are panicking about not getting one, the longer you wait, the better it's going to get, honestly. So try not to pull out your hair worrying about it too much. I thought this post from Facebook was pretty interesting as well. I wish I pre-ordered the Switch 2 in person. Pre-ordering the Switch 2 online was chaotic, websites crashed, queues bugged out, and the whole thing felt like more like a stressful checkout than an exciting moment. But as I scrolled through posts the next morning, I saw friends who went to GameStop in person. They waited in line, chatted with fellow fans, and turned a simple pre-order into a shared experience. It wasn't about getting the console, it was about being part of something. When I battled broken web pages, they made real memories. When I battled broken web pages, they made real memories. Turns out console launch events aren't dead, they just went offline. Next time, I'm showing up. Do you agree with them? Do you have a pre-order? Did you buy it online? Are you a little bit bummed out that you weren't able to go to a store in person like GameStop and line up? I did see a lot of videos from people who did go to the in-store, at-store, brick and mortar pre-order events across the country, and a lot of people were kind of frustrated because they went to the store, lined up around the block, only waited to get to the front of the store only to be told, oh sorry, we're out of pre-orders, and then they've had to rush to other stores at different locations to try and get their hands on a pre-order. One guy had to go to the mall, which opened later, for a second chance at trying to get their pre-order, and they eventually did. Unfortunately though, at the GameStop in the mall, they opened at 11 and they weren't doing a midnight release or midnight opening for the Switch 2, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least they got a pre-order. But yeah, you know, it wasn't a happy experience for everyone that went there, but it will have made memories. Unlike, you know, my experience trying to rush to get a pre-order online on the website. I also saw this on Game Collecting subreddit. Who's getting the $10,000 Switch 2 bundle from Costco? So if you don't know, Costco are selling the Nintendo Switch 2. I believe they're doing a bundle right now. It's a Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle, as well as the 12-month Nintendo Switch Online membership with the extra part that lets you play GameCube and Nintendo 64. But we've not got official pricing for it yet. I believe they're going to be doing a second bundle as well, to where they also bundle in Pro Controller. So yeah, keep your eye on Costco. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Does it come with free bonus stickers? Would you pay $10,000 for a Switch 2? Who knows? If the stock situation gets worse, I could see people scalping them for that on eBay. Definitely an FU price ahead of launch. Keeps employees from selling stuff that shouldn't be sold ahead of a launch date and below cost. Holy crap, there's a fellow Costco employee. Is that PC from Fallout? Raise the price. It does look like something from Fallout, doesn't it? And another interesting little statistic here from the shortcut with Matt Swider. Basically, he said, right now, according to their data, it was 7-1 as far as people who bought the bundles to people who bought the standalone console for $450. I think that value proposition was there for the Switch, for the Mario Kart game bundled in, because as you know, the Mario Kart game is going to be getting sold for about $80 on its own. So if you were to buy the standalone Switch 2 for $450 and you had to buy the Mario Kart game separately, you would be looking at $530, right? Which 530 versus $499. Granted, Mario Kart World would have been on a physical cartridge, but you know, there you go. People wanted to save that $30 and also have a game to play the second they got their Switch 2. But surprisingly, a lot of you guys weren't able to cop a bundle, so it was good that that standalone console was there and that less people were going for it, because it allowed people to get a Switch 2. But even the standalone game Mario Kart World, a lot of people that cherish their physical games did opt to buy the Mario Kart World bundle, Mario Kart World game separately as a physical game. According to their data, basically it sold well. Even at $80, people were willing to buy this, or at least, you know, buy it for the novelty of having a physical game, right? As they were saying, the shortcuts tracking the next wave of Switch 2 pre-orders. There was also a Walmart Plus week that we were kind of hoping that we get a second wave on Walmart, but unfortunately nothing panned out. Here's an interesting thing on Facebook that I saw as well. Missed your Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order? Here's what to do for different retail. For Best Buy's out of Switch 2 consoles, but still has games and accessories. Monitor their Switch 2 info page for updates. Best Buy Plus total members can earn $20 bonus rewards on select Nintendo purchases. For GameStop pre-orders sold out fast, but more inventory could come. Sign up for alerts on the product page now. Join GameStop Pro to get $65 off your Switch 2 bundle or accessories when available. That's pretty significant if you're a Pro member. And GameStop, like I said, did put out a tweet basically saying they're trying to open up inventory for people. So we could, if anything, we'll more likely see a restock at GameStop before release day. Obviously, Newegg opened up their Switch 2 pre-order page. It's not available for pre-order yet, but that's a sign that Newegg is gearing up for they are gearing up to sell the Switch 2, which is interesting. Target pre-orders are obviously sold out as well, but more may drop soon. Use your Target account to enable phone or email notifications for restocks, and they are not selling bundles as of yet. And Amazon, basically, they're saying Amazon may launch their listings for the Switch 2 once the other retailers are sold out, but they could drop anytime. Walmart could be gearing up for another restock. Pre-orders before June 4th, 8 AM. Promise curbside or fast in-store pickup by June 5th at 9 AM. And I do believe, I've heard Walmart are really trying to get everyone Switch 2s to them in the morning before 9 AM Eastern. So hopefully they hold true to that, or they stick to that, because that would be awesome, getting your Switch 2 first thing in the morning on release day, right? Without having to get out of bed, really. Just walking to the front door and bringing it in. But yeah, guys, as of right now, I just wanted to put out a video because I know a lot of people have been asking about when pre-orders are going live. Are they doing another second wave? I just wanted to put out a video, even though it's a bit of a nothing burger right now, honestly. I just wanted to get something out there for people to just discuss pre-orders. We obviously have our 24-hour stock tracking stream. Come on there if you have any questions. Come on there and just chat to people. We've got a bunch of really great community members on there, just basically hanging out, talking about Switch 2, talking about pre-orders. Are they going to open up? Where they're going to open up? Tips and tricks. And just getting hyped up for the Switch 2. It's a hangout Switch 2 stream with a cool live chat. Come over, hang out. The truth is, we're all going off of presumptions about who's going to drop, when they're going to drop. We've had little tidbits, obviously, like GameStop reaching out and saying they're trying to open up inventory again. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's really hard to get your hands on the Switch 2. Right now, we've not heard anything. There's no guarantee that they're going to be opening pre-orders in another wave. We're really hoping they will, though. We really don't want to get to release day and then have whatever stock that they have sell out instantly and then be back in the same position. I wish and I hope that they're able to just open up pre-orders now and help people get them, before release day. But either way, we will be tracking it. And like I says, our Switch 2 stock tracker, it's here for a reason. We're trying to help you get your hands on one if there is a second wave of pre-orders. Obviously, you'll find out about it here first. We've got our list of recent drops. It plays a loud alarm when the drop happens. So if you do have YouTube Premium and you want to keep it up in the background and, But yeah, we're still holding hope. I'm still holding out hope that we'll get that second restock. And I just wanted to touch base with you guys and talk about pre-orders because no one's really talking about the pre-orders anymore. Everyone's wanting one, but nobody's talking about when they're coming out. And even though we don't have much news, I'm just letting you know that I am on the case every day. I'm trying to be. I'm checking up the news. I'm checking news, checking articles, checking Reddit, checking social media for the latest on drops. And I will keep doing that. And if there is new news, I will try and post a video. Just wanted to touch base with you guys, like I said, let you know that there is nothing really going on right now. But hopefully, there will be, and that we're tracking it every day, both on the videos and also on our stock tracking script. And like I said, check the product links down below for your chance to get one of the micro SD cards. These things are also selling out really fast, guys. And the only two websites that I have that consistently let you order them, basically, or pre-order them at least, is the sandisk.com website. Click the link down below for the 256 or 128, and also Adorama for the gigantinormous, even though that's not a real word, 1 terabyte micro SD. And like I says, you're going to know it's Switch 2 compatible if it has that little EX icon, right? If it says 1 terabyte EX and has that little EX icon, it is compatible. If it doesn't have the EX, then it's not compatible with the Switch 2. So it's currently on back order, but at least you can get your order in right now. $220. It's a high price to pay, but 1 terabyte of storage will keep you going for a long time on the Nintendo Switch 2. But if you're wanting something more reasonable, I definitely recommend 256 gigabyte. It should keep you going for a good amount of time after release. Obviously, it will get filled up eventually, like all will, but $71. It's cheaper than a Switch 2 game, and this is the one I recommend you go for if you're not going all out on the 1 terabyte. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm BestBuy. Sorry I can't give you secret insider information. Although if you do have insider information on when or if we're getting another restock or another wave, please go down to my description and email me. I've got all my socials and stuff down there. So if you know anything, please reach out, let me know, and email me. Anyways, guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. I'm BestBuy. Peace out and keep the hope alive. Bye.
Let's go.